Nowhere left to go but up.
Moon Visage. That's probably what this is. I guess I could go Frozen Heart, maybe. It's either Frozen Heart, Force of Nature, or Moon Visage. I like both. I don't know which one is better though.
Man I once was.
Moon Visage or Frozen Heart tabbies, no, Frozen Heart, Force of Nature. I honestly think I'll do Frozen Heart, Force of Nature, because if I go Moon Visage, I guess I'll decide based off of what I see early.
Beauty crystallized.
You want to get out of playing Tarik jungle, but also your damage and healing isn't the best. So why play this champ? What's the utility I give? I mean, it's not the best of both worlds. It's like, I mean, one, I'll tell you this, right? I've said this multiple times, but I'll just say it again since you're asking directly. Tarik jungle is not as strong as it once was. The peak of Tarik jungle was like Season 8, Season 9, when Presence of Mind was good, the items were better, and various things like that. It's not even that Tarik jungle is inherently bad, it's that it has many issues and many counters. It has mana issues, it has many impossible matchups, and you know, that can be hard to deal with. But like in the best situations, it's super good, like against melees, right? You know what? Wait, what? No, I have. What am I doing?
Is a rare jewel.
What am I doing? You know?
Looks like a mountain fell on them.
But I forgot. I took flash because of Iger Cage. That was a really bad flash, but it worked.
But the stars are my destination. A little glimmer in their eyes.
But okay, once again, it is really strong. You can 1v1, like, it's not that you lack damage or healing. You just, if you feel like you lack damage or healing, wait, stop. I didn't get to finish what I was saying. It's not like, it's not as strong as it once was. It used to be broken, honestly. It was just broken and no one knew. Now it's okay. I still think that Tarik jungle, even right now, is better than some various junglers in the game. Like, I genuinely think that. I think that Tarik can provide a ridiculous amount of healing. Obviously, his ult is extremely good, right? Stuns, healing, shielding to teams that otherwise wouldn't have it. Abilities to survive while also DPSing.
But beauty is worth dying
right.
for.
If you don't feel like you have a lot of healing and you don't feel like you have a lot of damage, the issue isn't Tarik. The issue is, why aren't you able to auto? Like, what is the reason you aren't able to auto? And sure enough, if you're facing like a super ranged team, then maybe, guess what? Maybe, like, if you're facing Kindred or Kane or some absolutely like BS, something like a Zeri, you know, it might be difficult to go.
Sometimes life is worth dying.
Tarik, right? Do anything about it? I don't have flash from earlier, so I just have to do this.
I may be merciful, but Targon isn't.
Oh, I was right.
Just in case. The fight never ends. Blind them with our light. We see beauty in the stars, and they see beauty in us. An aspect's work is never done.
An enemy has been slain.
I don't know where she went.
The protector speaks through
But like,
me.
if I'm facing one of those builds, right, where I'm facing like Xerath and Zeri and a whole bunch of ridiculous range champions, then you want to go Predator builds, right? If they stand on top of you, then you want to go lethal builds. It's not like... It's probably not that like... I guess, how do I say this? Taric is bad if you don't build the right build in each situation. If you build the wrong build against the wrong type of team, you're gonna struggle, right? If you go Predator versus melees, if you go, you know, lethal versus range, you're gonna struggle with Taric, for sure. If you go Predator versus melees, you're gonna be super useless in any normal fight. And if you take lethal versus range, you'll never get close to them, and because of that, you'll be extremely weak. Right? Taric needs to be able to auto to be useful, so you need to take the proper runes and the proper, you know, builds based on what you're facing.
Let me show you something.
That's just how it works. Taric is not a champion where you can brain dead build Gore Drinker Cleaver every game and climb to master. That's not how it works. You can't just simply do that.
The best weapons are beautiful.
Yeah, no, I permaban Kindred every game. Kindred is an extremely oppressive matchup. Even though Kindred is, or you can counter Taric as support. Taric support counters Kindred jungle, but Taric jungle is countered by Kindred jungle because of the oppressiveness and ways that it works. But for support, it's a little bit different because you just get to worry about team fights in the ulti. And ideally against Kindred, you will win every single fight against Kindred if you ult after he does. If you can make Kindred ult first, then you will win. If everyone gets on the platform and Taric presses R, the Taric will win the fight. Every time. So, you have to understand that interaction, I suppose. Especially if you're facing him. Or, you know, either way. Being jungle or support.
Human life is fleeting.
An enemy has been slain.
Stars are eternal. Say hello to my little gem.
I don't know if I needed a flash for that. That might have been stupid.
We're all headed toward the same inevitable end. No need to rush.
You swear they did something to make him worse at escaping from enemies? The only changes that they've done positively for him in any recent time are mana buffs to his Q and his E at the second half of Season 11. But more than anything else, he's gotten nerfs. He's gotten HP nerfs. He got nerfs on his W during funnel days.
The mountain showed me my path.
Bro, what?
Ally has been
You
slain.
kidding?
I just love the way blood pools on ice.
I bet I can actually catch her. She used her E, right?
The stars were the question. I was the answer.
Dude, she still has flash. I don't know how he's losing that hard.
No, I didn't see stars.
An ally has been slain.
I have seen the light too clearly to ever fear the darkness.
I can't even do anything to her.
Stand against them. Why is it always the ugly ones? A little glimmer in their eyes.
Did she just take my fucking blue buff? She did.
I am no longer
An
the man
ally
I
has
once
been
was.
slain.
Blind them with our light. Let me show you something. Clarity. Love is simply beauty crystallized. Fight on! To truly see the stars, I climbed. My heart is filled with starlight. I give it freely to all. Nothing personal, but you've got to go. Bask in the glow.
See what happened?
Each light is a rare jewel. Shine on in crazy dark. Never submit.
Oh, that's my bad.
We must serve life. Demacia was my home, but the stars are my destination.
Well,
The mountains miss
there's a few things to say about what just happened at Dragon. So they lost a lot bot side because I used Herald to get pressure for Dragon. And we start Dragon, right? And then Diana goes in, but I just use the Dragon. I don't even turn on Diana. I just use the Dragon for auto resets to heal.
helped win a fight.
Once again, it's not that Taric doesn't lack healing. He doesn't lack shielding. He doesn't lack damage. He lacks mobility. He lacks, like, dashes, right? And mana. So, once you get tier, if you can get yourself some attack speed or some, like, decent healing, as long as you are able to auto, you can consistently continue to heal. And so, that's just, like, the way that Taric is much, much different than other champions, is that you constantly, and I mean constantly in every single fight, have to look for what are you going to auto? Are you going to be autoing a Scuttle? Are you going to be autoing a Ward? Are you going to be autoing a Dragon, a Baron, a enemy champion? Like, you have to choose what am I able to auto closest to, or at least maybe not closest to me, but what is the most effective thing for me to auto? Sometimes in a lot of times, it's not actually an enemy champion. It's a lot better for you to spend your time autoing some random thing to heal your team by autoing that random thing than it is for you to spend 4 seconds running in the direction of an enemy champion, not healing anyone at all, hoping that you'll get close enough to them to auto, right? Especially if you're going healing builds, this is true, right? If you're going more like AD heavy builds, then it becomes a little bit different, but, you know, still. She might think I won't challenge her. I will definitely challenge her.
Fade and be gone.
Never
Honor
fought.
the mountain.
Dire now.
Rest easy. Up the mountain we go.
Oh my god, everything? What is that? Gale, cleanse, flash. I saw a bunch of stuff there. That's alright, I got a bunch of sums. I'll take that. That could have been worse.
No rest for the chosen of Targon. The Protector speaks through me. The fight never ends. A little glimmer in their eyes. Easy on the eyes, don't I know it?
Okay, well, Jinx just used Rocket. Wait, I should have explained better. He's just sitting in the mid lane.
Just as the mountain is eternal, so is hope. Always forward. Bask in the glow. Sparkle even in the absence.
Oh, I'm dumb. I have my ult now. Whoops.
Shut down.
Well, that was refreshing.
So I could have played that better. I could have played that much better. Right? That wasn't
A little something from Targon.
I wasn't terrible, but I definitely R'd late. I missed a lot of my Q heals on my allies. Right, I made mistakes there. It's not like I didn't. But I played it well enough for the main part, right? I actually got the dragon with an auto, not my smite, which is, I guess, lucky. But lucky in a good enough way for us to win the game, I think.
The mountain's question is unique for each of us.
Remember how she has no Gale Force from the previous fight? And no Flash or Cleanse, so
Let me show you
Jinx
something.
couldn't really safely DPS.
For beauty.
Yeah, no, tanks suck. Tanks, like, Mofo, by the way, tanks suck. Tanks are really bad. Like, I'm not trying to tell you, like, I'm saying all these good things about Tarik, but really, it's just copium. Like, Tarik isn't that good. Tarik is fairly weak. If you want to climb, I don't recommend Tarik. It's not like Tarik is a terrible pick. It's just that there are much better picks, especially if you're starting from the ground up. The difference with me is that I've come to master Tarik jungle, and I have thousands and thousands and thousands of games on him. Because I have thousands and thousands of games on him, it doesn't really make sense for me to commit a lot of time to a different champion. I mean, I definitely could, but usually when I do, I get flamed, or it's like I just like feel like I'm inting, and I can't practice in flex. I can't practice in other things. This is a good call. Jungler is dead. We Baron. This is free.
In the glow.
Try not to get distracted, guys. I can't really get off this thing.
The taint of the void is upon me.
You want to go nuts? Go crazy.
The stars freed me from myself.
But like, clearly you can see what I'm doing, right? Like, the plays that are being made, they can't actually do anything against us because of Taric's R, Taric's healing, shielding. Once again, it's not, if you think that Taric is lacking healing or shielding, it's not because Taric lacks healing or shielding. It's because Taric struggles to auto something. So you must find a way to auto something in fights. And also, it's not that you need, also let me put this straight, because a lot of people say, oh, Taric must only be able to play in a high elo because you need teammates to use your stuff. And yes, that's true. Don't get me wrong, that's true. You need teammates to use your stuff, but it's not that you need teammates. You just need a body, right? Taric uses, you know, half of his abilities off him and another champion. That doesn't mean you need a good ally. It just means that you need another ally, right? And it's not that you need another ally in a 1v1. Taric can 1v1 just fine, right? Take PTA runes, take lethal runes. You'll be able to 1v1 a lot of different matchups. However, Taric cannot 1v2 very easily. Taric's 1v2 is probably one of the worst 1v2s in the entire game. Because he is melee, he does not have escapes, and so because he must auto something, this means that he must commit to the majority of fights that he gets in. He can't run away, he CCs himself, he has no dashes, no movement speed, and he needs to auto something. So whenever you see that, like, oh man, I must be inting, why am I walking at them in a straight line and autoing them? Because, well, if I just walk away and don't auto at all, I can't do it. I will just die anyway, right? By autoing, I'm providing myself healing. So, here, we don't have to. I was thinking, oh yeah, man, I could have ulted, but like, we don't have to ult for an enemy pick.
To truly see the stars, I climbed.
Never falter.
Shall we? My heart is filled with starlight. I give it freely to all.
Like, I don't know. Once again, I've said this other times too, is that Taric is usually not weak because Taric is weak. Taric is usually weak because people don't understand how to play with Taric, because they don't see Taric in their games. They don't, you know, most people aren't used to seeing Taric played the way that I play him, because I know Taric's limits and what Taric can do. My team doesn't know Taric's limits and what Taric can do. And guess what? If your team doesn't trust what you're doing, and they're like, oh, he's inting, then you're inting. If your team says that you're inting, then you're inting. But that's not your fault. It's theirs. It's their fault for not joining you in fights that you know that you can win. A lot of times, I will run from fights. I'm not stupid. I run from fights all the time. But guess what? When I know I can win a fight, I don't run. Especially because running means I can't auto. And if I can't auto, I don't stay alive. And if I know I can win, there's no way I'm going to run. And even if I'm going to die, I'm also going to keep autoing them because that'll allow me to dish out as much damage as possible before dying, right? So it's like, it's hard to tell when Taric will actually win or lose a fight. I know when I'll win or lose a fight. My team, and sometimes the enemy, doesn't. And that, you know, that usually harms me more than it helps me, right? Sometimes it helps me, but a lot of times it doesn't. Because my team won't join me. It's like, just fight them, we'll win.
Truth is worth
Never
fighting for,
falter.
but beauty worth dying.
Oh wait, what am I? I did not realize that he was dying on the other end of that.
Life is worth dying.
We could probably just end.
Focus.
I may be merciful, but Targon is
Never falter. Peace.
We must serve life.
Sa el sa. Focus.
Rest easy. A little glimmer in their eyes.
Gaia.
Gems are wonderful distractions.
And that's how it is.
A summoner has disconnected.
The best tanks in the game aren't tanks like Taric. They're literally bruisers. Every bruiser in the game will tank more than any squishy, or than any like, how do I say this? I'm distracted. The best tanks in the games are bruisers that build